The regular meeting of the Folsom City Council for Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Council members Aquino.
Here.
Chalem Chella.
Here.
Howell.
Here.
Rodriguez.
Here.
And Kozlowski.
Here. If everybody will please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, do we have any agenda updates?
Mr. Mayor, you do have two agenda updates this evening. On item number 4 on your consent calendar, you have additional information and an amendment that has been provided to the council and is available to the public at the back table. And staff is requesting that items number 15 and 16 on your public hearing calendar be discussed together.
Excellent, okay. Business from the floor.
You have no request to speak under business from the floor this evening.
Okay, fantastic. So scheduled presentations up first. We have two of them. I'm going to do the first one, and the vice mayor is going to grab the second one.
Okay, as the mayor's walking down, your first item this evening is a proclamation of the mayor of the city of Folsom proclaiming July 2nd to 4th as Western Rodeo Days in the city of Folsom.
So I'm going to apologize for being completely inappropriately dressed to make this presentation. I have all the stuff, and I just didn't wear it tonight. Okay, this is a proclamation of the mayor of the city of Folsom proclaiming July 2nd through July 4th, 2021 as Western Rodeo Days in the city of Folsom. The city of Folsom proudly recognizes Folsom's Western heritage and acknowledges the benefits of preserving the traditions and customs of the city's history. And the annual Folsom Pro Rodeo is a cornerstone of Folsom's link to its colorful past and is thoroughly enjoyed by residents and visitors alike. This year's event, to be held July 2nd through 4th at the Dan Russell Arena, marks the 60th anniversary of the Folsom Pro Rodeo and marks it as one of the longest-running events in Northern California. Rodeo Park is named for the Folsom Pro Rodeo ambassadors, Jim Digger and Sharon Williams, in honor of their long service to our community and to recognize them as legends of the rodeo for their many contributions to the Folsom Pro Rodeo. The 60th anniversary event highlights include traditional rodeo events such as saddle and bareback bronc riding, steer wrestling, team roping, barrel racing, bull riding, a performance by the Painted Ladies Drill Team, who happen to be here, the Flying Cowboys, rodeo clowns, nightly fireworks, mutton busting, which is absolutely the highlight of the rodeo, and live music in the Golden Spike Saloon. In honor of the traditional patriotic theme, the Folsom Pro Rodeo will celebrate with the ever-popular in-arena spectacular fireworks, and celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Folsom Pro Rodeo involves the assistance of hundreds of volunteers and a tremendous amount of community support. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Michael D. Kozlowski of the City of Folsom, do hereby proclaim July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2021 as Western Rodeo Days in Folsom and call upon all citizens to cowboy up and join in the festivities celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Folsom Pro Rodeo, and be it further proclaimed that the Folsom City Council extends sincere best wishes to the Chamber of Commerce for a successful rodeo season proclaimed this 22nd day of June 2021. Sharon Williams. Put this off so you can.
Thank you. Would you stand next to Sharon? We'll get a
Absolutely.
picture.
Yeah.
So it's a privilege and an honor to be here tonight on behalf of the Folsom Chamber of Commerce and all the many people, volunteers, staff, leaders, city partners who contribute to the ability to bring this event for its 60th year anniversary, a huge accomplishment. I want to do a special shout out to our legends. Sharon Williams, Joe Guernsey, and Pam Christensen are all being honored this year as legends of the rodeo to take a closer look at all the hours and energy they put in to making this such a memorable event for so many families in our community. So we're very grateful to you for all you've done, and you're synonymous with rodeo, hence the legend. So thank you both. And Sharon, Queen of the Rodeo. And then a special shout out as well to our 2021 Grand Marshals, the Painted Ladies, who are here in their beautiful costumes, incredible skill, and really a crowd favorite. And their support and their energy and beauty really adds to this event. So thank you for all you're doing to make this a great year. And we look forward to seeing all of you out at the rodeo July 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It'll be a great year, and we're excited to share it with you. Thank you.
So I'm not a speaker, but I could not say something tonight. And based on what Marianne had said about our community and all those that are workers and put their hard many hours, I'd like to read this, please. Thank you, Joe and Marianne, for choosing me to accept this proclamation for this 60th annual Folsom Pro Rodeo. I feel it's no small miracle that we are at this moment right now. But then look around you and see who is responsible for the last 30 plus years and has successfully led the way for this event to be one of the best, largest outdoor events that serves the community in so many ways. But it takes that community of business support, hardworking volunteers, the leadership of the Greater Folsom Partnership, and the many City of Folsom staff to be named in this. The city and the GFP, service organizations, and many other groups that honor folks for their lifelong service to their community, I have to say, Joe and Marianne, in your leadership, you leave no one behind. To me, they are the true heroes of the day, and I want to thank them for how they have blessed me for all these years. They are people who have made their mark and touched lives in so many ways with their love and passion for their community. They are the firm foundation of Folsom, the best place to live, work, and play. The city and the GFP service organizations and many other groups, in their honor, I have to say, I'm sorry, I'm repeating myself. So to me, they are the true heroes of the day, and I want all of us to give them a big hand, please, for all that they have done.
Okay, your next item this evening will be a proclamation of the mayor of the city of Folsom proclaiming July 2021 as Parks Make Life Better Month.
Good evening. Come on down. You must be Rob.
I am.
Okay. Accepting the Parks Make Life Better Month proclamation is Rob Collins on behalf of the Sierra Marlin swim team, head coach and CEO. And it looks like you have, I know, Ernie Dillard, and then you have a couple swimmers here with you. The Sierra Marlin swim team is a United States swimming club that began swimming in Folsom in 2001. The team serves over 275 youth, aged 6 to 18, with year-round swimming by inspiring and enabling swimmers to achieve their best in life and in swimming. Earlier this month, the Sierra Marlins had 6 swimmers qualify for the U.S. Olympic swim trials in Omaha, Nebraska. The city of Folsom extends our congratulations to the Sierra Marlin swim team and the swimmers who represented Folsom and competed at the trials. I also should say that we have Ernie's Army here in the audience today. That is friends, family, and supporters of our beloved colleague, the late Ernie Sheldon, whose picture is gracing the table there, who we pretty much consider to be the father of parks here in Folsom. So let me read this proclamation of the mayor of the city of Folsom proclaiming July 2021 as Parks Make Life Better Month. Whereas parks and recreation are vitally important in providing physical and mental health wellness for all ages through organized and self-directed play and activities. And whereas parks and recreation supports the economic vitality of communities by providing frontline jobs, youth programs, and promoting community revitalization. And whereas parks and recreation fosters social cohesiveness in communities by providing spaces for all individuals to come together peacefully and ensuring all have access to park and recreational benefits. And whereas parks and recreation sustains and preserves our natural resources by protecting habitats and open space, connecting people to nature, and promoting the ecological function of parkland. And whereas Parks and Recreation supports safe, vibrant, and attractive communities that make life better through a variety of recreational opportunities. And whereas the Folsom Parks and Recreation Department creates memorable experiences through engaging programs, services, events, and experiences through thoughtful planning to enrich lives. And now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Sarah Aquino, on behalf of Michael D. Kozlowski, Mayor of the City of Folsom, do hereby proclaim July 2021 as Parks Make Life Better Month. Proclaim this 22nd day of June 2021.
Yes, my name is Rob Collins. I'm the head coach and CEO of the Sierra Marlins. We are a local USA swim club based out of Folsom. And we just really want to thank the city of Folsom and most notably Chad Gunter for being so supportive of what we're doing in this community and providing us the support to be successful. We just wrapped up 3 weeks in Omaha, Nebraska with 6 athletes who competed at the U.S. Olympic Trials. 2 of them are standing next to me right now. This is Rosie Murphy. She competed in the 200 backstroke. And next to her is Morgan Gore, who competed in the 200 fly. This was their first time competing at the U.S. trials. They are both 16 years old. Rosie is committed to UCLA after her senior year of high school, and Morgan is committed to Auburn. In addition, we had 4 other athletes who competed, one of them who made the team, representing our program. So, thank you. So look out for Bryce Mefford in Tokyo. It's a pretty awesome day when we've got local kids doing great things on a world stage. So Bryce Mefford will be competing for Team USA in the 200 backstroke, and we are beyond grateful for all the support that allowed us the opportunity to be successful in this community. And thank you to Ernie Dillard at the end of this line. Ernie Dillard is our board president, and he has been instrumental in providing the support and foundation that has allowed us to grow and prosper. And thank you, Ernie.
Okay, we have a couple of requests to speak on this particular topic because parks are so important to our community. Would you please call them up?
Your first speaker this evening on this item will be Sharon Kindle, and Sharon will be followed by Fred Kindle.
Sharon and Fred, you guys feel free to use the mic at the stand to talk to us, or if you prefer to address the audience, you can use the big mic.
More comfortable.
As it suits you.
Okay. So, Mayor Kozlowski, members of the City Council, and members of the audience here and at home. My name is Sharon Kindle, and I'm a nature activist, a volunteer for the Folsom Parks and Recreation Department, and I'm a member of Ernie's Army. I'm here tonight to celebrate the mayor's proclamation, Parks Make Life Better. Yes, they do. And I'm also here to celebrate the life of Ernie Sheldon. He was known as a father of Annette Wormser and Ernie Sheldon Jr. Grandfather, great-grandfather. He served our country as colonel and vice mayor of Folsom. He was a nature activist in saving trees, and he is the father of Folsom Parks, coming here with only 3 parks existing and to 48 parks on his passing. He was driven and passionate volunteer and volunteer leader. The picture that I have from the Folsom Telegraph, dated April 25th, 2012, shows Ernie here, and all of these students behind him, youth support programs, invest in our kids, support recreation programs. Ernie was a volunteer coordinator. He created a powerful working force, and I so much appreciate his model because I believe that it would be helpful for the city of Folsom to hire a full-time volunteer coordinator for the Parks Department. And I believe that that would make the department more efficient. It would bring joy to those of us that want to volunteer. I volunteer for weed abatement, tree mitigation, and also with the nature program education. So I know that Ernie has made us a more powerful people by serving, and I believe that our city could benefit by having a volunteer coordinator in the Parks Department. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, your next speaker is Fred Kendall.
I'm Fred Kendall. I live in Canyon Room Drive here in Folsom. I came here tonight to thank you, City Council, Mayor Kozlowski, for your proclamation. I agree 100%. Parks do make life better. Folsom has 48 great parks. Perhaps everyone in this room has their favorite park, or perhaps their kids have their favorite. My favorite park is Hinkle Creek Nature Area. Hinkle Creek is a special place with a nature center, the Hinkle Creek Nature Center. Folsom spent $740,000 to give us this great community asset. A few neighbors asked Parks staff, can we help get a nature program going? Staff said yes. You reach out to experts and we will arrange nature and history talks. So we contacted local experts. Parks published the talks in the City Activities Guide. Audiences enjoyed these nature and history programs beginning in October 2019. And I want to just give a list of the topics. The Coyote Coexistent Workshop, Autumn and the Hinkle Creek Nature Area. This was a hike. Mountain Lions Workshop. One of our small groups saw a mountain lion in Hinkle Creek. Another topic was from Big Gulch to Hinkle Creek. That was the original name of the Hinkle Creek area, Big Gulch. Winter in the Hinkle Creek Nature Area. This is a hike. Perseverance, the life of William A. Leidesdorff. He's the guy who owned Rancho de los Americanos that became Folsom. Then the coronavirus came along and shut us down before we could present these additional topics. Bird language. Birds talk to each other and to us in their songs. Earlier times in native California, 10,000 years ago, man came here and the Pacific Ocean was 600 feet lower in elevation than it is today. You talk about climate change. Bald eagles and birds of prey. Two biologists are going to tell us about these glorious birds. Aquatic biology of Hinkle Creek. A great fishery biologist that works for ICF is going to tell us about the critters that live in Hinkle Creek. The Nisenan people, a descendant of the Nisenan people that lived here, is going to tell us about their life here. Golden State snakes, the life history of Pacific rattlesnake and other snakes that live in Hinkle Creek. Deer and turkey natural history. There are critters there in Hinkle Creek. Sacramento Placer, Nevada Railroad, 1862, from Big Gulch to Grinders Junction. That was Roseville. That's now Roseville. The railroad ran beside Hinkle Creek. And Women of the Gold Rush Generation, it's a historical film by Dr. Robert Lee Grant. So as the coronavirus becomes a memory, we hope to resume these wonderful programs for all to enjoy. I am reminded of Ernie Sheldon, great city council member. Ernie urged the parks program we have today. Ernie is probably watching right now, nodding his head. Yes, parks make life better. I thank you again for giving Folsom such a wonderful parks program.
Thank you very, very much. Sounds like you can get most of a biology degree out there at Hinkle Creek. Okay.
Okay, next this evening is your consent calendar, and you do have one request from a member of the public to pull item number 10.
I'll move 3 through 9 and 11.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Aquino?
Yes.
Chalem Chella?
Yes.
Howell?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Kozlowski.
Yes.
Okay, and item number 10 is resolution number 10654, a resolution rejecting all bids for short or long-term lease at 405 Natoma Station Drive. And the requester was Jennifer Lane. If you'll come on up.
You could just leave it on. You can take it off if you want.
Good evening.
Hi there.
As you know, Ernie was a very good friend of mine, and I'm here tonight to be his voice. Before Ernie got sick, he was coming to City Hall and meeting with Elaine, and he was very concerned about the building being vacant for so long at the park, Ernie Sheldon Park. And I know that he had an idea to make the senior center bigger. And his idea was if the city moved the arts and cultural to that building at Ernie Sheldon Park, then there would be more room for the seniors. I understand that the senior center is bursting at its seams. I know they haven't met for a while. I'm guessing they haven't met. I used to go to the monthly parties with Ernie, and he would get all dressed up for the holiday parties, and I'd humor him. So I'm here speaking for Ernie Sheldon tonight. I got a little more time. I heard a story about that building, that the park, Natoma Station Park, there was not enough money to finish it. And so what Ernie and his army, I'm guessing, came up with ideas how to make it possible to finish the park. So they took out a loan, and I don't know if the city did this. I don't think Ernie himself did it, but he managed to talk somebody into doing this, to take out a loan. I think it was a 20 or 30-year loan, and finish the park. At that time, the city wasn't charging enough money to the residents for parks per house. So bless its heart, he figured it out, they figured it out, and they built this building. Because I kept saying, well, why does this park have a building and the others don't? And that was, the idea was to finish the park, which is paid for now, the building is paid for, and everything's great. It's a beautiful park. I was just there this morning. So anyway, thanks, Ernie, for giving me the courage to come tonight. And thank you for considering this idea. Thanks.
Thank you very much. All right, I will entertain a motion on item number 10.
I'll move item number 10.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve item number 10.
Councilmembers Aquino?
Yes.
Chalem Chella?
Yes.
Howell?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Kozlowski.
Yes. Okay, please call the next item.
Okay, your next item this evening is new business item number 12, resolution number 10628, a resolution adopting the local road safety plan.
Good evening, Mayor Kozlowski, members of the council. I'm Mark Rakovan, Engineering Manager with the Public Works Department. I don't have a presentation for you this evening, but I do have a few comments just to provide some background on the item before you and some context. So the Local Road Safety Plan, the LRSP, is a state-mandated document developed by Caltrans. They chose the name, they chose the criteria, the format. They require local agencies to have an LRSP adopted if the local agency wants to be qualified to receive funding through the Highway Safety Improvement Program, or HSIP for short. We certainly want to qualify for that, so we do not currently have an LRSP, but in 2019, Caltrans offered grants to local agencies for the development of LRSPs. We applied, received $72,000 of state funding, and the item before you is the first LRSP that the city would like to have adopted. An LRSP is a very laser-focused document. It is data-driven. It relies on data in the statewide integrated traffic reporting system. These are collisions reported by local law enforcement to the statewide system. It relies on speed and volume data provided by the local agency, and it's focused on fatal and severe injury collisions only, and this is very important. It's, again, the guidance that they're providing is trying to reduce fatal and severe injuries. They provide the list of corrective measures that they're willing to fund if your analysis concludes that your community has a need for those types of corrective measures. So we hired the firm of TJKM to prepare our draft LRSP. Unfortunately, we kicked them off right about the time we all got sent home last year. So it was a very challenging time to work with the consultant, muddling through Zoom meetings and trying to get public outreach and work with the Traffic Safety Committee to develop it. I think we did an okay job. We could have done a lot better. But we did establish a website. We had over 50 people visit that website and provide comments. The Traffic Safety Committee gave us outstanding guidance and ultimately recommended the draft to be adopted by the City Council. In fact, we used the draft document back in October of last year to apply for what was called Cycle 10 of HSIP. Now, Caltrans has notified us and all local agencies that you have to have your LRSP adopted in order to qualify for the next cycle. But we were getting out ahead of it, and since we already had a draft LRSP and it had recommended projects, so let's use the outcomes from our draft LRSP and apply for Cycle 10 funding. We came to City Council, you authorized us to submit 3 projects, and in March we were notified we were awarded all 3 projects, over $2 million in state HSIP funding. So that was a big win, and it validates that the LRSP is doing what it's intended to do. And we are now at a point where we're working on what the delivery process will be to implement those 3 projects. Around the same time that we got the 3 HSIP grants, we also, as you're all aware, received several SACOG awards. And so we kind of have an embarrassment of riches right now where we have a lot of grant funding that we need to deliver on.
Let's keep it to ourselves.
But they're all reimbursement grants, so we have to fund them ourselves and then be reimbursed from these external sources. So it's a little bit of a shell game that we're currently working on to deliver these projects. Nevertheless, it's a good problem to have. The last things I wanted to say were that, again, we came in with a very high-minded thought of what the LRSP was going to be when we were first awarded the grant. It sounds like the kind of document you would say, okay, this is going to be a all-encompassing traffic safety guideline and policy document for the city of Folsom. And as we went through the process and realized how hyper-focused it is on fatal and severe injuries, you find that it excludes neighborhood traffic calming, school zone safety, other non-severe injury collisions that might still be trends that our city finds important and would like to address. And so while it is clearly an important document, and we do recommend that the council adopt it this evening, there's a big gap between the broad policies that are safety policies that are in our adopted general plan and these hyper-focused fatal and severe injury measures that are in the local road safety plan. So at some point, I think staff would like to come back and recommend something that closes that gap, a more focused policy document of traffic safety that addresses all these other areas. And we're currently exploring other grant funding opportunities to develop such a document. But for now, for this evening, all we would like to do is have the LRSP adopted. It will be updated on a regular basis to reflect changes in our traffic collision information and changes in the criteria set forth by Caltrans. And with that, I'm happy to answer any other questions that you might have.
Very good, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Rackavan? Sarah?
Yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you, Mark. Yeah, I guess, so in reading these statistics, it looks like they're looking at the collision rate, which you take the average daily traffic, I guess. So some of these have a high collision rate, but really it's in a residential area, right? Because they're not getting a lot of volume of traffic, so one accident kind of skews it. Am I reading that correctly?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay. So if you look at just the number of collisions, it would seem that East Bidwell and Oak Avenue Parkway is more problematic than other parts of the city, just based on this. But, okay, and the other thing, the Folsom Police Department for a couple months now has been putting out these weekly statistics, which I love, by the way, Chief Hillman. And one of the things that has struck me is the number of traffic collisions in the city every week. The number is much higher than I would have ever thought. The last several weeks that they've been putting this out, the traffic collisions are in the 20s or 30s. And if I'm doing my calculations, again, correctly, this looked at the number of collisions over 5 years. So I took 52 weeks times 5 years, which gave me 260 weeks. Took 2,911, which is the total number of collisions, by 260, divided by 260. And we were averaging just over 11 collisions per week. It seems like we've doubled that now. So anyway, I don't know. It seems like we're going in the wrong direction. But the other thing I wanted to ask about is I only saw the word roundabout here mentioned in the survey that you did with folks. But is that considered an effective means of reducing collisions and controlling traffic? Because I really do love roundabouts, and I'd love to see more of them in the city.
Second.
To answer your question, it is an effective measure. It reduces a lot of the potential conflict points between vehicles at an intersection. And even though it creates other conflict points, they are of a type and speed that are usually less damaging and less severe. Keep in mind that again, Caltrans defines which corrective measures are identified in each HSIP cycle. So they, I don't know if it comes down from the governor's office or from the FHWA, but someone makes the determination that this is what we're focusing on in this particular cycle. It could be distracted driving or seat belts or DUIs, whatever. They say this is what we're focusing on. You go do your LRSP, and if your LRSP lines up with our goals, then you qualify for funding. And I'm not sure if roundabouts or intersection controls was one of the specific criteria, but I also don't think it was excluded. I'd have to go back and look and see if there were any instances in the LRSP where there was the potential for a roundabout to be identified as a viable corrective measure.
Okay. And do I remember reading this correctly, that now that we have one of these, we have to update it annually? Is that correct?
Biannually.
Biannually, okay, all right. Okay, very interesting, thank you.
Thank you.
YK?
No, I'm striking out one of the questions you answered biannually. But before that, I just want to call out and congrats the way you did the math, 53 weeks, 10 and 5, and you proved that you were a school board member before. So, thank you. Mark, thank you so much. I know probably when Dave was giving some introductions and the agenda, I was praising him. 25 years, I'm a data guy. So when I saw these numbers, we have something tangibly to act on, right? I know you are saying 50% are in the nighttime and the visibility, and that's a big number.
Yes.
That's a big number. I don't know how the implementation of the 2 million is going to go. So I'm very interested to see how at least we can capture that big 50% nighttime visibility things.
Yeah, there are items in the 3 projects that address street lighting, reflective signs, reflective pavement markings. You know, that's all we can really do is to make sure that motorists can see the signs, see the lane markings, and from there it's up to people to react appropriately and drive with a little more caution.
Thank you. I'm going to leave that to the great hands and you and Dave. But there are technologies out there, and solar is out there. We don't have to run the big power lines to get the lights going on nowadays. So hopefully, I love whenever I go to the Folsom South, the first stop sign, I can't miss it, right? Even it is 3 o'clock. So it may not cost that much, but I just want to bring that. But thank you for all these details. I'm more passionate. You probably might have seen I join every commission meeting for safety because I want to listen in. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Rosario?
Thank you, Mark. Very informative information, but I have no questions.
No questions. I'm glad that we did the report solely to check a box for Caltrans so we can apply for grants. Good job.
Excellent. I don't have any questions. Do we have any public comments?
You do, Mr. Mayor. You have 2 comments that were submitted by email and asked to be read into the record. So the first is from Larry Moore, and he writes, "My name is Larry Moore. I am a recently retired civil engineer from Caltrans and a Folsom resident for a little over 12 years. My last assignment with Caltrans was as the project development coordinator for the San Francisco Bay Area counties. My role was to approve project scope for all projects touching the state highway system, regardless of funding. As such, I was involved with hundreds of projects, mostly in urban environments on conventional streets and roads. Currently, I teach a course on bicycle transportation, engineering and planning for Sacramento State University, Office of Continuing Education, sponsored by the Active Transportation Resources Center of Caltrans. It is with that lens that I offer comments on the LSRP. Providing a transportation system where it is safe, comfortable, and convenient for people to drive their personal cars has been the mainstay of the transportation industry for over half a century now. The LSRP under consideration continues that legacy. While considering pedestrian and bicycle safety, the plan lacks depth and scope to make a meaningful impact on providing a safe, convenient, and comfortable transportation system for pedestrians and bicyclists for their transportation needs. Yes, the LSRP acknowledges pedestrian and bicycle needs, but accommodation is insufficient to attract active transportation. Projects which encourage active transportation are necessary for this goal to be achieved. Details of the project scope were not included in the LSRP, but each project, regardless of project type or purpose, is an opportunity to enhance active transportation. My recommendation is to place the bulk of the projects on hold, except where there is a critical safety need, and to reassess these delayed projects such that they can incorporate the vision of the pedestrian and bicycle plans the city is now updating. As noted, infrastructure projects are an opportunity to enhance and encourage active transportation, and I encourage the council to adopt this policy. Thank you for your time and consideration. Signed, Lawrence Moore, PE. Your second comment letter is submitted by Rebecca Bolin, who writes, the La Colina del Lago Owners Association has the following concerns with the Local Roadway Safety Plan, LRSP. The LRSP states that it is a comprehensive plan that creates a framework to systemically identify and analyze traffic safety-related issues. The required data points used favor low traffic volume roads. City staff have acknowledged this. How can a comprehensive plan solely use a very narrow focused methodology that results in low traffic, low speed roads being designated as the most highly unsafe and more dangerous than high volume, high speed locations with more accidents, which include fatal and severe accidents? Page 3 of the staff report states the LRSP focuses on fatal and severe injury collisions that are uncommon in neighborhoods. Please note that the locations identified as the top 2 to 3 highest risk roadways and intersections are all in residential neighborhoods with low traffic volume. While a specific data criteria for the LRSP may be required for state funding, it should not be stated that it has correctly identified Folsom's overall most hazardous driving locations when those areas with high traffic volumes, speeds, and collisions, including severe collisions, are overlooked by this report's methodology. Is the purpose of the LRSP to function as the primary governing document for the City of Folsom, specifying all qualifying traffic safety projects and countermeasures for the next 2 years? Or is it a required document for state funding purposes? If the latter, is there a separate governing comprehensive traffic plan available for review? How are other traffic studies that were undertaken integrated into the LRSP? The public was given the opportunity to provide feedback on the draft report via the website. What happened to the comments submitted? We subscribed to receive notifications on the project updates, yet never received any communication. What happened to this function and transparency? Are maintenance costs captured in the total costs of all projects? City staff opted to include 50 years of maintenance costs for suggested improvements in the Blue Ravine East Natoma Safety Assessment Study. What other traffic improvement projects have had 50 years of maintenance costs included in the projected and approved budgets? What is the standard practice? The LRSP plan gives the cost of installing segment lighting, a median barrier, and a dynamic speed sign between Folsom Lake Crossing and Giannotta as $548,065. It is well documented that traffic signals recently installed in Folsom typically range from $250,000 to $400,000. Why would the city spend significantly more money on lighting, a median, and a speed sign when a traffic signal at East Natoma and Giannotta would be less expensive and by an order of magnitude solve multiple traffic issues? Thank you. You have no additional comments.
Okay. Mr. Rakovan, could you come back for just a moment? Let me see if I can paraphrase what you told us before we had these comments. The LRSP is doing a discrete job of identifying serious collision accidents and using a data system to do that in order to be able to compare the results here in Folsom against the broader results of the state of California.
And that it's been done in accordance with the basic formula and reporting requirements in detail that Caltrans said it had to abide by.
Right. So that's all true, correct?
It's not meant to be a
Okay.
planning document. It's a report that we have to do in a specific manner in order to submit it to Caltrans in order to be eligible to go after grant funding.
And then after you identified that, again, paraphrasing, we are endeavoring to do a more thorough investigation of all of the traffic concerns within Folsom built on top of this document, which is not yet ready, but is going to be proposed by the staff.
That's true, and I should note with respect to Ms. Boland's letter, running concurrently with our LRSP effort, we undertook a separate study of East Natoma Street traffic safety. It was done by a different consultant using our local funds in order to address a debate that we were having with the La Colina residents about what's appropriate to do on that stretch of East Natoma. Staff did not support the idea of a traffic signal there because of the cost and the ongoing maintenance and whether or not it was warranted. We now have two studies that were done by two independent consultants using two widely different approaches that recommended the median. And to Ms. Boland's point about why would we spend $500,000 on a median versus what I would say would be $400,000 to design and construct a signal? Well, we have the funding to build the median. We have state grant money to build a median. The state grant money can't be used to build a signal because that wasn't what was recommended out of the LRSP. So if we proceed with a signal, it would have to be done with our own local funds. It's not currently in our CIP. We don't have a funding source for that signal. So that would be my response to that particular question.
Gotcha. Okay. And then with respect to Mr. Moore's commentary, active transportation, bicycle and pedestrian ways adjacent to roadways, that's not the purpose of this LRSP, or does it consider that in some way?
It can, depending on what bicycle and pedestrian collisions are documented in the SWITRs over that 5-year period that the LRSP looked at. So if there were numerous
pattern,
or any biker ped collisions that matched up with the corrective measures for the particular HSIP cycle, then absolutely it would be addressed. We always include bicycle and pedestrian amenities in our design efforts. This is Folsom. We focus on bike and ped as much, if not more than most communities. We have an active transportation plan that is currently under development that I think is probably more appropriate to the planning and design principles that Mr. Moore was referencing.
Got it. Very good. Any other questions or commentary from the council?
Yeah, I have some. I'm good. Good. I know Rebecca Morse, I forgot her last name, she made a comment. They did provide some comments as a review, public review, and they didn't get any response. Can you please elaborate that one?
Yeah, I'm a little puzzled by that as well. I know that we went to great lengths to set up the website. As I said, several people did provide comments, and those comments were addressed at the staff level, and I'm not sure how or why the feedback never made its way back to the residents. Okay. It's something I'd have to find out follow up with my consultant and ask, where was the breakdown in there?
Thank you. Thank you. It's all about, when a resident is taking this as a passionate way, because this is their town and our town. So at least, we have a due diligence, right? But I trust you. And the other point I would like to make, again, the same a resident mentioned, is this just a plan to submit for Caltrans to get the funding? Once we have the dollars, are we going to revisit how we are going to invest based on the actual problems we have? So that kind of statement they made, I don't know whether that is the way we are going to use those $2 million, for example.
No, the funding has to be used as we submitted it in the grant funding. So because Caltrans will audit, did you comply with their LRSP? Does your LRSP then use the funding as we identified it in our grant request? And if we don't comply, we run the risk of losing out on future state funding.
Right, and I know you mentioned, I think also Mayor summarized, and for this one, I think we only got the 54 residents participated on our website research, because this focus is more on developing the LRSP for state.
Yes.
And we didn't do the broader outreach to, in a diplomatic way to collect all the information to develop the master big city plan.
That's correct. We could have done much better with public outreach.
Because the focus of this document is, statistics and the criteria. Even you mentioned they gave the template also, the state Caltrans.
Yeah.
So, okay, I just want to clarify that one to the people who are listening. It is not that we are not going to the residents. We followed Caltrans instructions and the steps to follow, and accordingly you developed this document. And of course, when we get to the big one, the entire citywide, which you mentioned, obviously we are going to do the robust outreach and collect all the information and present to the city council to adopt and execute the plan.
Oh yeah, it'll be a much more robust, public involvement, and also all the safety stakeholders in the community: the police, fire, the school district, traffic safety committee. It'll be a much broader community-based policy.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Great. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Hearing none, I will entertain a motion.
I will move resolution number 10628.
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve item number 12.
Council members Aquino?
Yes.
Chalem Chella?
Yes.
Howell?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Kozlowski?
Yes. Okay. We are now going to convene a joint session of the City Council and the Public Financing Authority. Would you please call the roll once again tonight?
Council and board members Aquino?
Yes.
Chalem Chella?
Here.
Howell?
Here.
Rodriguez?
Here.
And Kozlowski?
Yes.
Okay, your one item this evening on this joint agenda is new business item number 13, Folsom Public Financing Authority Water Revenue Refunding Bonds, Series 2021. You'll have two resolutions before you this evening. Resolution number 10656, title as identified, and resolution number 21-074 PFA, again, title as identified.
I don't know how to use this new thing
Okay.
right here. Could you help me
Hang
get it
on,
on
I
the
gotcha.
screen?
I
Thank you.
gotcha.
Oh, that's a new one?
I thought Mark started a trend and we weren't going to get PowerPoints tonight.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Well, this will be very short. so
Okay.
Just a few slides here.
There you go.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Stacy Tamani, Chief Financial Officer. Just have a few slides here on the Folsom Public Financing Authority Water Revenue Refunding Bonds, Series 2021. I'll start off with a little background information. Back in 2005, the Folsom Public Financing Authority issued bonds for the 2005A water project. That was in the amount of $14.3 million, and it was to finance a portion of improvements to the existing water treatment plant. And then in 2013, the 2005 bonds were refunded with $12.8 million of water revenue refunding bonds. Currently, there are $8.9 million of the Series 2013 bonds still outstanding. The interest rate on the outstanding bonds is 3.15%, and the final maturity date is December 1st of 2033. The Folsom Public Financing Authority is proposing to issue the Water Revenue Refunding Bond Series 2021 to refund all of the outstanding 2013 bonds in a not-to-exceed amount of $9.2 million. Our debt management policy states that in order to pursue a refunding, the refunding must generate a net present value savings of at least 3%, net of the costs related to the funding. And in practice, the city typically chooses not to pursue a refunding unless we can realize a net present value savings of at least 5%. Our policy also states that no refunding shall result in the extension of debt service payments beyond the term of the originally issued debt. In this case, that's 2033. And this issuance meets that criteria. There'll be no extension of the term with this refunding. The bonds will be issued through a private placement. This was competitively bid. We sent out 15 requests for bids and received responsive bids from 9 banks. We chose the most favorable bidder at a rate of 1.757%. That was Key Bank. The anticipated savings for this refunding is about 6% and will result in about $46,000 of annual debt service savings for the water fund. And as I mentioned before, the bonds will not extend beyond the term of the originally issued debt of 2033. The bonds are payable from installment payments. It's secured solely by the city's water fund and are not a debt of the city's general fund. So in conclusion, staff recommends that the City Council adopt resolution number 10656 and that the Folsom Public Financing Authority Board approve resolution number 21074 PFA. I'm happy to
Very
answer
good.
any questions.
Mr. City Attorney, just point of order, are these ones that we're reading and then approving again later, or are these just straight approvals?
Straight.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
fantastic. All right, any questions or commentary? Madam Vice Mayor? No? YK?
No.
All right. Okay, any
Public
public?
hearing?
What?
Do we have to open the public hearing?
I believe we do. No?
Okay, in which case,
Great, okay.
I'll
I'm gonna do
move-
it anyway. Does anybody from the public want to comment on this? Okay.
I'll move resolution 10656.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on resolution 10656.
Council members Aquino?
Yes.
Chalem Chella?
Yes.
Howell?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Kozlowski?
Yes.
And on behalf of the Public Financing Authority, I'll move resolution 21-074 PFA.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Council members Aquino?
Yes.
Chalem Chella?
Yes.
Howell?
Yes.
Rodriguez?
Yes.
And Kozlowski?
Yes. Okay, we'll adjourn the special joint meeting and reconvene our regular city council meeting with public hearings.
Okay, these will be public hearings, and your first one this evening is item number 14, resolution number 10653, a resolution to approve a large lot vesting tentative subdivision map, small lot vesting tentative subdivision map, and minor administrative modifications for transfer of development rights, 25-unit transfer, and land use boundary refinements to the Mangini Ranch Phase 3 project.
Good evening. I'm Kathy Pease, a contract planner for the City of Folsom. Tonight, I will be bringing forward the Mangini Ranch Phase 3 project. This is located in the Folsom Plan Area, specific plan area. It's centrally located in the middle of the plan. It's accessed south of Savannah Parkway, north of Mangini Parkway, and west of East Bidwell Street. There are several entitlements that are being requested. A large lot vesting map that will create 14 large lots, a small lot vesting tentative map that will subdivide a portion on the east side to provide 260 residential units, and then several minor administrative modifications. This shows the large lot map that, again, will create the 14 lots. And then this is the small lot vesting tentative map. The area, I guess my pointer is not working. There is an open space area, and the properties that are to the north and west are single-family high-density residential, and then on the corner is multifamily low-density residential. There is a minor modification that's being requested to amend some boundaries. It will not result in any changes in overall land use. They're just very minor boundary modifications. There is a request to transfer 25 dwelling units amongst various parcels. And again, the land use will remain the same with these unit transfers. No specific development is proposed at this time, and no development standard deviations are being requested. We did look at this plan comprehensively. We looked at traffic and noise, consistency with the general plan, consistency with the design guidelines, and I will note that design review will be required at the time specific development is proposed. So the traffic recommendations are to include emergency vehicle access at one point so that it cuts down on cut-through traffic on East Bidwell Street. And we prepared an environmental checklist, which concluded that the project qualifies for an exemption because it's consistent with the previously approved residential in the specific plan. The mitigation measures are a condition of approval with this project. And with that, we are recommending approval of the project.
All right, thank you very much. Are there questions about the presentation from the council?
No questions.
Okay, hearing none, we'll open the
I'll
public.
wait for the last, because there are 3 presentations, I guess.
Well, we're going to handle this one, and then we'll look at the other two together. But we need to open this for public comment. Is there any request to speak?
You have no request to speak on this item.
Okay. Last call for anybody in the room that wants to comment. All right. It's back to us. I guess we'll.
I will move adoption of resolution number 10653.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Okay, council members Aquino,
Yes.
Chalem Chella,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Kozlowski.
Yes.
Okay, this takes you to your next two items. Your public hearing items number 15 and 16, as mentioned before, are going to be taken together. First is resolution number 10655, and item number 16 is resolution number 10658.
Hello again.
Hello again. Yes, so I'm going to go and include both of these projects together, and you'll see they are adjacent to each other. And we did combine environmental studies, so it makes sense to go together. So the 1C North has a small lot vesting tentative map, minor administrative modifications, and design review. And the 4-pack is asking for a small lot vesting tentative map, a plan development permit, as well as design review. So again, my pointer's not working, but on the north side, west of Savannah Parkway is the 1C 4-pack project, and then southerly on both sides of Mangini Parkway are the 1C North project. And this shows it a little bit better. The 1C North 4-pack again is on the north. The 1C is outlined in light blue. You can see a little bit, and again, it's on both sides of Mangini Parkway. And then in the middle, you see the proposed Mangini Place apartments. That's not being considered this evening, but that will be coming forward in the near future, and that's a 100% affordable apartment project that's being proposed by St. Anton. So on the 1C North project, again, it's a small lot vesting tentative map. It will subdivide to create 76 residential lots. There is a minor administrative modification, and they are requesting design review. Again, the boundary change is minor, but it will be between the apartment complex and the 1C North 4-pack project. There is a request to transfer 20 dwelling units amongst the parcels, and again, the land use will remain the same with that transfer. The first 3 slides, I'm going to show you the proposed architecture for the 1C North. There are a variety of elevations in 3 types of architecture, including modern Spanish, Italian villa, and modern prairie. And so these are for the 1C North project. On the 1C 4-pack project, they are requesting a vesting tentative map to subdivide into 100 residential units. There's a planned development permit with a request to deviate from the development standards for the multifamily low-density residential zoning, and they're requesting design review. So this is the small lot map. Again, this portion of the project will be accessed from Savannah Parkway. It is an interesting concept. They will have 4, 6, 7, and 8-pack clusters. Those are single-family homes that will be placed together. So a 4-pack will have 4 single-family homes, 2 on each side of an alley. So that makes up the 4-pack, as an example. And then you'll also see in the white colored areas, those will be conventional lots on the corners. So this project is requesting development standard deviations to minimum lot size, front yard setbacks, side setbacks, and maximum lot coverage. I'm including this slide to show that the city has approved similar development deviations when Russell Ranch was approved. And as you'll see, none of these deviations are above what has been previously been approved. There are proposed amenities, including vehicle charging station, cool roofs, energy efficiency, among other things. This shows what the entrance to an alley will look like. The product on the left is what a corner lot would look like. And then the one on the right, you'll see the units will face onto the alley. Like the 1C North project, the next 3 slides show the different proposed architecture, which again is 3 styles. In this, it'll be modern Spanish, Western farmhouse, and modern prairie. This is an example of what the alley landscaping will look like. One of the features that they're doing is for alleys that back onto each other, they're putting enhanced landscaping to give the end of the alley a more open feel. And then you'll see they're also doing enhanced open fencing, again, for that kind of open feel at the end of the alley. We looked at traffic for all 3 of the projects, the North, 1C North, 1C 4-pack, as well as the Mangini Place apartments, to look at driveway spacing, circulation, and other requirements. Pedestrian access, there are quite a few opportunities for pedestrians. There is open space and Class 1 trails on both the north side of the 4-pack project and on the south side of the 1C North project. The traffic recommendations are that both the 1C North and the 4-pack provide reciprocal access for each of the projects to have a secondary access. For instance, the 4-pack will provide a connection to Savannah Parkway for the 1C North, and then vice versa. The 1C will provide the 4-pack access onto Mangini Parkway. So the project will be required to dedicate right-of-way. Both projects provided an environmental checklist that again concluded that they were both consistent with previously approved residential in the specific plan. And again, their mitigation measures are found as conditions of approval. And with that, we're recommending approval of both projects.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions from the council at all? Sarah?
Thank you, Kathy, and welcome. I just want to, I was only half joking because there really is an element of truth to this. When we were doing our agenda review, I really like the concept of the 4-pack, 6-pack. I just, it's something that we don't have a lot of here. And I was joking with Kathy that this is what my girlfriends and I talk about. Where are we going to live? Where are we going to have a compound when we all outlive our husbands, right? So that we can keep an eye on each other. But for any developer or home builder who's listening, nobody who downsizes wants to live in a 2-story house. So it doesn't look like there's, from these floor plans, there's no bedroom on the first floor, right?
Actually, there is one of the elevations in each of the products has a bedroom on the first floor.
Okay, that's good. But yeah, I like I said, I like the concept.
Get
I
your
like
deposit in, Sarah.
What's that?
Get your deposit in.
Yeah.
But I just wish somebody would do this concept but single-story homes. And I realize you can't pack as much of a house in that space, but
You could do 2nd-story garages.
yeah, something. I don't know. Let's start thinking outside the
grading
box, people,
solution.
because I may be living in one of these someday. But anyway,
I want to
thank
see
you.
that ramp design, Mike.
Right.
Just the alley is elevated through the whole thing. Yeah.
You know, it's a very interesting topic, Sarah, because when I bought my house, I wanted it to be a ranch-style home so that I could grow old in it, and that was it was a must. I had to find a 1-story home.
You guys are saying you want Folsom full of old people.
I just have one question. It's kind of a silly question. Pet waste what is that?
So what that would look like is just one of those posts where they will provide waste bags to make cleanup easier in the neighborhood.
Oh, okay. And then it comes by and gets cleaned up weekly?
Yeah.
YK, any questions?
No, when we saw the second floor garage, I was looking at, Kerry, man, she's already thinking engineer. This one, I think I did mention. This is a comment, not as a question. As I have been working, I think last, 4 months or so, even before we announced the drought, how the water efficiency, I am the example, right? Sometimes I would turn off my hose and come inside and forget, or 30 minutes, all those, right? And all these new constructions are coming with a more technology-driven, hey Siri, turn off the lights, I'm sleepy. I mean, that's an example, right? So, and they have a pet wash and all those things. And I was researching, and I did our research through our water department, because city doesn't have the direct in-house technology. We are subcontracting with so many people. And there is no way we will know that my water hose has been running last 30 minutes. But when I saw the other technologies, for $149, we can install a Flume device, which can tell you within 15 seconds, water ups and downs, or if my daughter is taking more than 15 minutes, then I will know as well. All those. It's a request, how we can go back to our builder community. Besides all the technologies they are implementing, we are Californians, drought is with us as a DNA. So can we request the builders going forward, at least on the Folsom South, installing those technologies in more or less in every unit?
I know there's a state water efficiency landscape ordinance. There's a model ordinance, and so that is becoming more and more requirements.
Yeah.
This product type is a great example. It's a small lot clustering, and so there is less landscaping, and so it will be more energy efficient. And you'll also see in the description that the applicants are providing an increased technology package, which would include that type of technology.
So, YK, you could water the entire neighborhood in 30 minutes.
No, thank you, Kerry. So this we want to put this request in front of the builder community. We as a Folsom people, please help us to put that as a basic, just like your flooring. That unit attached to the meter, and it comes with your cost. So driving that mindset, through the request is my thing. I know Steve is listening here, and anyway, we can do that. And going forward, for at least that 8,000, 9,000 homes to be built, that would be awesome. Thanks.
And I think if you check with the water department, you'll find out that these homes are probably at least 50% more water efficient than your house, and probably 75% more efficient than my house.
I hear you. I'm just inducing the concept in that one, that's all, right? It's a small homes, big house, water wastage is water wastage, that's all.
Thank you. Rosario, anything?
No more questions.
No more questions? Do we have any public requests to speak?
You have no request to speak on this item.
Okay, fantastic. So unless there are other comments from the council, I'll entertain a motion. We still want to handle these individually though, right?
I'll move resolution 10653.
I'll second.
We are entertaining motions for 10655 and 10658.
That's my bad.
You said 53. So item number 15 is what we're on.
Council members Aquino,
Yes?
Chalem Chella,
Yes.
Howell,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Kozlowski.
Yes.
I'll move resolution number 10658.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Council members Aquino,
Yes.
Chalem Chella,
Yes.
Howell,
Yes.
Rodriguez,
Yes.
and Kozlowski.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay, city manager report. Everything is perfect now, right?
Yes, June 15th has come and gone, and so the whole world is wide open and everything is fine. So as of Tuesday, June 15th, the state of California did fully reopen its economy, allowing all businesses to fully reopen without restrictions. The state no longer requires social distancing and ended the blueprint for a safer economy color-coded tier systems. Masks will only be required in certain places, including public transportation and healthcare settings. At our own City of Folsom facilities, customers are still required to wear masks if they are unvaccinated in indoor settings and in indoor childcare and other youth settings, including our indoor day camps, K through 12 indoor youth sports, youth library events, and story times. And we are fine-tuning a plan to allow our employees to remove their mask in the workplace if they verify that they are vaccinated. So we're working on that over the next few days. The Folsom Public Library has added additional hours to the regular schedule. 1 additional hour will be added to each day, Tuesday through Saturday, which is really exciting to be adding things back. Story times have resumed and will be offered each day the library is open. These indoor story times will be geared toward children's age 2 to 6. They're held in the picture book room, Tuesdays at noon, Wednesdays at 11, and Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays at 11:30. Our Summer of Music Concerts series kickoff is this Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. at Lions Park. And then finally, the city is seeking public input as work continues on the Active Transportation Master Plan. The Active Transportation Master Plan will guide the planning, development, and maintenance of existing and future bicycle and pedestrian facilities within the city. So community members are invited to attend an outdoor workshop from 10 to 1 p.m. Saturday, June 26th at the Picnic Pavilion in City Lions Park. And you can find out more at folsom.ca.us/trails. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Good. Council comments. Anything? Sarah?
Just one thing, I alluded to it earlier, but I just wanted to say, Chief Hillman, I really do love that weekly report you guys are putting out on your website and on Facebook. I think it's a great information for the public and really eye-opening as to just how much you guys are doing every week. So thank you for that. Good job.
YK?
Mine is, I know I was on a family trip to Arizona, Phoenix last week. Ooh, that's the temperature, 118, 119.
No, thank you.
Because you're asking council comment, I got to give my personal things too once in a while. The big thing is, this is more for my colleagues. As you probably know, I talk more techie talk, and I meet with so many people. And even the other day, a professor was here and speaking about public transportation. Several Folsom residents are showing interest who are technology experts, not the businesses, the residents. They would like to come and form a small committee as an advisor to our city manager, and more than that, to our city council. I don't know how that works, but I just want to put this in front of our council, and if they are thinking about how the world is moving towards technology, which can help our staff, definitely. Certainly, it's giving back to the community with a more technology-driven services, more efficiencies. Think about it. We can definitely talk offline, but I just want to bring that publicly here. And the second one is, as I said, I think Kerry made a good point. YK, your house is going to use the more water than the Folsom South. And I did post a public comment about the drought and water usage on social media. Sarah, you did not like my comment, my post. You did not. I know. I just want to. I think we can talk about the rebates. It's a recommendation. See whether we can use these kind of flume kind of devices. Rebates right now we are giving for a toilet, and we are giving for some of the waters, sprinkler system, main thing. Those are the two we are giving. I just want to bring this because the drought is going to be here, global warming is going to be here, saving a drop is very important. Think about it, how it is or not. I'm not sure whether it can come from the enterprise fund or the general fund. We can talk all those, but I just want to put that mindset, in front of you. And the third one, I was at the cooling station last Saturday. I just want to make this comment. There's only 2 people, 4 p.m., 112-ish or 10-ish, but there are 7 people outside on the shade. I did not get it. I went there and I asked them, hey, all the city is doing so much work for you, opening the cooling stations and nice water and snacks. They were just nodding their head. They did not get inside. 4 o'clock, peak hour. So, don't know. I hope they all can, in listening, or at least motivate them to join when the city is working so hard to provide the services. I really want residents to use it, especially the unhoused, friends. With that, good evening, Folsom.
Councilmember Chalem-Cholo, if I could just add a special thanks to our police department, who's been making extra efforts to get the word out to the unhoused community about these cooling centers. But you're right, 10 people on Friday, 5 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. So we're trying to push out the word in as many ways we can, including direct contact.
I think we are definitely doing our job. They're there, out there. Don't know. But thank you, everyone, for doing that one. And Elaine, since you mentioned that, thank you for easing me when I look at this evening agenda, the big packet, 1,976 pages. Few numbers above my birth date. Wow. But we did it. Thank you.
Rosario.
Yes, okay, so this Saturday, hometown parade, 9 a.m. in the Historic District, and then followed by the Folsom Pro Rodeo in about 10, that starts in 10 days, and I hear tickets are selling quick. I just also want to share how fortunate we are that we have a 60-year legacy for the community and the region, and it creates a fundraising opportunity for some of our nonprofits. I also want to give a shout out to some of the volunteers, the Rotary Club of Folsom, Kiwanis Club, Camp Okizu, Heart of Folsom, Lakeside Church, Hands for Hope, Friends of Folsom, Maria, and I'm going to say this correctly, Tofu Shek Memorial Fund, and the Vista del Lago track team. This is actually the first big event that we are having as we exit this pandemic. And then lastly, I appreciate how the rodeo is an economic driver for the Folsom and the business community that benefit from it. I also want to thank Elaine Anderson, our city manager, and Chief Ken Cusano for the cooling stations. I was curious to know how it was used, and it doesn't sound like it was very well utilized, but maybe with time and as the heat intensifies, people will come out.
I will say that folks are gathering in the library, and then some move over to the cooling centers and some just exit, but they're using the library for that purpose as well during the day.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Well, I saw the bag of chips and I was like, oh, I should go there now. I want to congrats to the Vista del Lago girls varsity basketball team for an undefeated league season and league championship. NBC interviewed 3 officers across the country. One was from the Folsom Police Department, Sergeant Jake Verhalen, and on the topic of morale being at an all-time low after a year of unrest. And so I just want to let the officers and dispatchers know from the Folsom Police Department that you are appreciated. On June 9th, about 2 weeks ago, I went to a Folsom Historic District Association meeting and to listen to some of the frustrations that some of the individuals had about some projects that were coming down the pike and the impact they would have on the historic district. And so requested some data from Elaine, which definitely showed the underutilization of our parking garage. And so we have had many studies. I was able to get all of the studies that we've had, or just a couple of studies, that was followed by an ad hoc committee in 2019. And it was about a year ago that they reported out. So I've met with several stakeholders in the last couple of weeks since I met with the Historic District Association. And we all know that HD is a jewel to the city that has great amenities. We want to continue to attract businesses, not only to the historic district, but to all of Folsom. So I would love to move forward with this project that has been a 20-year-old problem of getting the right people on the right bus, and that we can get together and make some recommendations from the ad hoc committee and or consider other solutions that are alternate to the parking problem in the historic district. There's no perfect time now to move forward with something like this. So been able to identify 9 key people, 7 that have committed to participate. We need a rep from the city, and it was very highly requested that maybe Pam Johns join this group. And it would also be great to have somebody from the state parks also join, because there are spaces in the historic district that belong to the state parks. We have a facilitator lined up. Again, it's a former colleague who has a black belt in Lean Six Sigma that could facilitate and get some actions going on some of these recommendations that have been made in the past. That's it.
So I actually took mine off because I have been vaccinated for months, and I'm really happy that I don't actually have to wear the mask now. So I'm not being disrespectful to anybody who thinks that we should have masks on, but the governor says apparently it's okay. So on the subject of traffic, I am not surprised based on what I've seen over the course of the last 27 years here, and in particular the last 2 years. I think part of this, all of this was exacerbated significantly by the fact that for so much of last year there was very little traffic. So everybody just assumed no one else was out there driving, and everyone is driving like a maniac and a complete jerk. And I saw the result of that accident on East Bidwell the other day, and I'm only hoping that that wasn't a fatal accident because the top of that car looked pretty well crushed. So somebody either left there with a really bad neck injury or a broken neck. So, and I can't help but think that speed had to have had something to do with that. So please slow down. Red lights apply to you. The yellow light means slow down, not speed up. Running a red light is either going to ruin your day or somebody else's, and probably both. Stop signs are there for a reason. You know, you hear all sorts of talk from our Public Works Department and from Mark Rackman about the justification for installation of stop signs and all of the things that we do to analyze why lights go in, why the timing is what it is, why speed limits are set the way they are. They're all there for a reason. You're not smarter and you're not Mario Andretti, so please drive like a regular human being. If you're looking to go to the rodeo, I spoke to Joe yesterday and today. Tickets are selling like crazy, so please call and get your ticket order in. I encourage everybody to have a safe 4th of July. I've made no bones about the fact that I'm not a fan of fireworks, even the safe and sane ones. So please, please, please be careful, and let's have the fire department have a really quiet weekend that weekend, if there's any way for that to happen. That, good night for me.
Okay, excellent. I have 3 quick things, and I'll follow up immediately on the fireworks. The FAA and some other local groups are selling fireworks this year, and they are determined to sell them out as quickly as possible. So make sure that you go find those as soon as the booths open up. It's the #1 fundraiser for our youth sports programs here at Folsom. I want to second what Rosario said about thanking our Folsom Police Department for making their way through some challenging times, and especially Sergeant Verhalen for his thoughtful commentary in that news piece. It's more evidence that we have smart, professional police officers here in Folsom that take their job very seriously and carefully. And then finally, fun thing, I was the guest of the Folsom Historic District Association on Saturday evening and got to see the Folsom Lake Symphony perform at our outdoor amphitheater down by Sutter Street. For them, the first time in nearly 17 months, I think. Mm-hmm. And they did a bunch of fun marches and movie themes and things like that, and it was a blast.
They're amazing.
They are amazing, yes. And one of the percussionists is the music teacher from Vista del Lago, so I took my daughter with me just in case one of the bassists fell over. She could fill in. So. All right, well, with that, I will adjourn our meeting for tonight. It's 8:03. Thank you very much.